had to open up the pantry to pull out a pair of pants from one of my favorite Lowkey Streetwear brands. And in this video, we will be going over my top five favorite Lowkey Streetwear brands out right now. There's really like 6 or 7 brands. These brands are a little bit more specific to the category of streetwear. So the last video that I did unboxing some streetwear, I titled top 5 best streetwear brands to buy right now. 2 of those 5 brands are skate brands that have become somewhat popular within the streetwear culture. Some of these brands are established, some of them are not. Who's calling me? Ooh, Paul can too. Speaking of Paul, I gotta go thrifting. But before I go, I wanna show off the first brand, which like I said is Menace. So I bought, now RJ's calling. I keep getting interrupted by my thrift brethren. As soon as I saw these pants, I was like, man, I need these. And the reason is because the logo looks extremely familiar. I'm not sure if any of you guys have ever listened to that band right there. Classic Menace logo embroidered on the back pockets. It also has these distressings. Perfect post-apocalyptic pants to wear. And then I wanted to get something else from Menace, and I got one thing, but then they blessed me and sent me 3 things. So huge thank you to Menace. However, the thrift store is about to open, and your boy's gotta go hit the thrift store. Hopefully I'm not late. I'm 3 minutes late, so hopefully today is not the one day that it's actually hit. In the last 5 days have just been so slow. All right, hit 1 rotation. We got the little early 2000s Nova tee. Fun fact, my mom used to have that car right there. The opening ceremony's contrast collar with the little chesticle hit right in the center. Kind of cool to see opening ceremony in the thrift. Little Far Side tee, Disneyland tee that was gifted to me by the homie Mason. Speaking of Mason, we gotta go do a little buyout. He got the trunk full of goodies. Spent a little over $300. Got this whole bag. Cool hot rod tees, nature tees, and a gang of crew necks. Basically my entire car is once again filled with clothes. I would put it in the trunk, but the trunk is sadly full. It was raining, so I had to come back in. Got some Carhartts. Not too bad. This is probably my favorite find. Little Nike hoodie, some of the little vintage pieces. Nothing too crazy.
Got some okay stuff?
This hoodie right here, it's like 90s or early 2000s.
How much you want on this?
Literally clothes everywhere.
Focus on your heart to step in the sun. It don't good, hit me from the hood. Time to time.
Personally, I didn't find that much, although I bought a good amount of stuff off of another thrifter. Probably gonna do these with the next drop. As you can see, I have like a stack of vintage Harleys and other similarly styled motorcycle pieces, which will be dropping on thriftrow.com. Follow my thrift page, Thrift Row, if you wanna stay up to date with that drop. I might include this one in it as well. This is like a early 2000s or late 90s FM radio station, faded black rock hoodie. Perfect, since we're discussing a band that I used to listen to on the radio. I've showed Menace off before. In fact, I showed off a denim jacket. Now, I don't know what these fit like, so I'm going to try them on. Oh, yeah! That also has this same paisley print laser engraved into the entire jacket. However, this one is a complete suede. I did get a size large. Normally I get a size small in my jackets. However, the size large fits perfectly. Almost recommend either going true to size or sizing up depending on the look that you want. But when I ordered this, all I expected to get was this. They actually hooked it up and sent me a gift. First of all, they sent me this, which is another suede jacket. This one's a little bit fancier. I do prefer the buttons, although the way that they do their buttons, it's one of those things that looks really cool, but it is really hard to button up and unbutton occasionally. So it makes sense as to why they added a zipper. You also have this like shearling or this like fur, I don't know, it's like a black bear's pubic hair around the collar. Super soft. Then you have a polar bear, or maybe even a spirit bear, since it kind of has a creme de la creme color interior. And then probably my favorite pickup, this pair of pants. You have Menace actually stitched in using this like frayed denim. You have the Menace logo embroidered on the rear pockets. The wash on these is just absolutely insane. And it's like a lightweight denim, which I prefer. Once again, you have the classic little Menace logo embellishment for the button. As for this jacket, I know this already dropped, but they are dropping this variation, I think, at the end of the month. Huge shout out to Menace. They've been absolutely killing it, and I love seeing what they're doing, and that is why they are one of my favorite Lowkey streetwear brands. But that is not all we are here to discuss. We have a plethora of other streetwear pickups. One that I'm particularly stoked about is this right here. This is from the brand Wckdthghts, Clux Busters, embroidered on the front. It's on this beautiful classic Dickies work jacket. Love the messaging. Shout out my boy Wckdthghts. You guys may have seen me rock his hoodies before. This is from the Paisley campaign, as well as this dip dyed Ben Davis. I also got this fitted from that drop as well. I love what they're doing. Super good dude. And the other cool thing about Wckdthghts and Menace is that they're both streetwear brands that are kind of rooted in streetwear, and they just make cool stuff that is authentic to them. And of course, speaking of authenticity, it would not be a video if we did not discuss one of my favorite streetwear brands. I've been saying this for years now. I know I showed off Born and Raised in the top 5 best streetwear brands to buy right now video, but I did also mention that to me, Born and Raised is one of those brands that is still kind of low key, and I think the stuff that they make is extremely sick. For example, this fitted that I bought is probably going to be seen on my dome piece quite a lot over the next couple months. This was from a recent collaboration with Mr. Cartoon. You have the Mr. Cartoon BXR hit on the back, and then right here it says "You'll Miss Us," and then on the other side it says "When We Are Gone," with the Born X Raised rocker on the front of the cap. Easily one of my favorite fitteds right now. I did get some other things from that collab, like I got some t-shirts. I got these sick ass sweatpants. They're in this burgundy colorway, but you have like all these Mr. Cartoon hits. You'll Miss Us When We're Gone, On the Turf, Born X Raised, little Mr. Cartoon clown, On the Turf once again. I know I have like a crazy pant collection, but honestly, I wear sweatpants like every single day. Mr. Cartoon is a tattoo/graffiti artist who started off by airbrushing t-shirts and lowriders. I'm familiar with him obviously because my uncles are Mexican, and just seeing his stuff within streetwear over like the last decade plus. I remember one of the pairs of Vans that I really wanted was a pair of Mr. Cartoon Van Syndicates way back in the day when I first started getting into streetwear. But I've always appreciated that style of art, primarily because of my uncles. Like I talked about in a recent Instagram post with my uncle Desi, he's kind of the reason why that style has always appealed to me. So when I saw that my favorite brand was collaborating with Mr. Cartoon, I had to cop some stuff. I also ended up getting these right here. This is a pair of Dickies pants. I went shoot a size and I don't know why, because I knew that they were Dickies, but they do fit a little slim. I should have sized up to a 32 waist. I'm super bummed about it because these are so sick. All embroidered, and then once again, you have the "You'll Miss Us When We're Gone" script. Before I discuss this brand, I do want to show off a shirt that was actually sent to me from one of the homies in the Discord. I get a lot of people asking to send me clothes, and I have accepted clothes in the past, but I'm really particular on what I accept. However, when I saw this t-shirt, I was like, yo, that's sick. So I decided to show it off. Pre-Evo, I will leave his website as well as the other brands in the description down below. You have this cool kind of like modern art type style face. This looks like it could be in a straight art gallery. Like I could just picture this in the freaking MoMA or something. I don't know what shirt he used, but the shirt is definitely good quality. But yeah, shout out to the homie, appreciate you. And he's like an OG in the Discord, +1 posse for those of you guys that don't know. Now next up, for one of my favorite streetwear brands, or favorite low-key streetwear brands, I gotta show love to Half Evil. And especially since we're halfway through the list, it's only right. First, I got the Half Evil Codone. I also got this hoodie sent over. This one is sick. The Grim Reaper in red. I'm pretty sure Sam does skateboard, but they never really focused on skateboarding as their primary focus. In fact, I would say that Half Evil primarily got big because they had $3.33 t-shirts, which I think they still do. They have their own unique space within streetwear. Actually, I just realized this isn't halfway through. This is the 4th one. We should have showed this off at number 3. Anyways, for number 5, we do have some honorable mentions, but number 5, we have Babylon. So with Babylon, they had a collaboration with Off-White. Now you might be saying like, how is this a low-key streetwear brand if they collaborated with Off-White? They've been collaborating with Off-White for quite some time. I believe this is the 3rd collaboration. It is a brand that I would say it's primarily a skate brand. Yeah, okay. All right, guys, I can't make a top 5 that's not rooted in skateboarding, okay? Because skateboard culture is so influential on streetwear culture, is what it is. But that being said, number 5, Babylon. I picked this up. I wanted to show these off because I was just so stoked on these. Originally, I bought these because I was just thinking like, maybe I'll resell them. Babylon, Off-White. I will probably keep this hoodie. It's got a super sick graphic. The quality is insane. The fit is so nice. And I've purchased from Babylon in the past, but I haven't gotten that many things from them. They did a collaboration with Converse, and I wanted a pair so bad, but I could never find my size. Now, obviously, Babylon has collaborated with Off-White, and there's no real arguing that the other 4 brands, including, I mean, really all 5 of these brands are somewhat established low-key streetwear brands. I still consider them low-key because at the end of the day, streetwear is still somewhat of a niche. Not everyone is into streetwear, and if you do not live in a major city like LA, New York, San Francisco, Chicago, Miami, or any of those big cities, more than likely, if you step outside, there is not going to be a single person obstructing your visual cues that is wearing any of these brands. I know for me personally, I almost never see these brands on a regular basis because I don't live in one of these major big cities. But there's no arguing that they are still successful streetwear brands brand. So I wanted to include a segment where we, you know, discuss some honorable mentions, some more low-key streetwear brands that you may or may not have heard of. Earlier, we discussed Pre-Evo, so that's honorable mention number 1. Huge shout out to the homie. The more and more I look at this graphic, I just get absolutely dismayed at how gorgeous it is, and I'm really excited to see what the homie creates. He actually sent me a picture of like a cardigan that he's working on, which looks so dope. Another honorable mention is Cntra. Might be Cntra, but I'm pretty sure it's Cntra. I've never heard it said vocally, but it was actually created by a friend of mine. When I used to work at a clothing boutique in Seattle, I didn't want to commute an hour for like 2 or 3 days on the weekend. So what I would do is I would just crash on his couch. So that way I was just down the street from where I worked. But he ended up moving to LA. He worked at Bodega. Now he styles Bad Bunny. He's been doing his thing. I'm extremely proud of him, and he has finally started his brand, which is Cntra. I showed this off one other time. I showed out the first drop, which he actually had my friend Phoenix and Mia Khalifa, random combination, model some of his first stuff. He sent me this rugby, which has this elastic waist, kind of gives it more of a vintage fit because it makes it look a little bit more cropped in the body. You have Cntra right here embroidered on the chesticle, and then on the back, you have this chain print wrapping up the back of each sleeve and then wrapping around the back as well. The hoodies from this drop are insane, but yeah, man, huge shout out to the homie. He also sent me a hat, which is so freaking sick. Cntra little graffiti hit right there on the front, all embroidered. Double snaps, of course. Cntra logo right there. You have the red crown and the black contrasting brim. I do need to curve this a little more because I do prefer my hats to be curved. Now moving on to honorable mention number 3, it's the hoodie that I'm wearing, and I've been wearing this hoodie nonstop, like every single day. I first heard about this hoodie from the homie Keezy. I ordered it. It was like a pre-order, or they just get it manufactured. It took several weeks to ship. It's the Carpenter hoodie from Amulet Works. You can see the branding right there. It's tonal, kind of hard to see, but it just looks like a vintage faded black hoodie. I kind of liked it because it separated the pockets. It looked like it had a nice fit, which it does. This kangaroo pocket is actually separate from this pocket right here. Then you have these pockets on the ribs as well. It's a decent weight. I haven't even looked at the tag. I got a size, is there a size tag? I've been wearing this like almost every single day just because I've really been into the faded black lately. Another recent pickup was from Nothing Personal, or Blazzy. It's this t-shirt right here that says "Know Your Pills, Fentanyl Kills," and then you have the back. What's really dope is if you look at the wash tag, it has little Narcan instructions, which is kind of filthy. I actually became aware of Blazzy from Steven, who is the owner of Menace. He was doing a live, I saw Blazzy, and I just liked what he was doing. So I followed him, I went and bought this t-shirt, and then like an hour or two later, he hits me up and he was like, "Yo, you're the GOAT." Kind of motivated me to actually pursue what I want to do this year, which I will discuss soon. If you guys have been OGs, you guys can probably put that little puzzle piece together. Created a bunch of super sick stuff. Of course, his site and the site to all the brands that I discuss will be in the description. I do plan on fading that tee because I think it would look super sick if it was like sun faded, and I'll probably end up doing the same thing to this. This is a DBruze tee. DBruze creates a bunch of wrap tees for different things, and yeah, he's got some cool ones. The Bone Thugs and Harmony one was super sick, so I had to cop this. Once again, I will be laying this out in the sun during the summertime, trying to get it nice and faded, probably boiling it and steaming it as well. Another piece, this brand is a little bit more popular, but this is from Fugazi. Now this drop happened quite some time ago. I actually may have shown this piece off, I'm not quite sure. If I did, I apologize, but yeah, it's a super sick paisley cardigan. You have these little metal embellishments that look like the back of a bullet. This drop happened during the time the Fugazi Posse corduroy snapback dropped. The recreation of the Supreme Posse hat, which is also a recreation of a hat, and I mean, that hat got kind of popular, I believe, because Bushwick Bill, even though I think a lot of people that like that hat probably know about it because of Tyler, the Creator. If you guys haven't noticed, almost every single time I do a video, I show off something that is paisley print. Both of these brands are probably a little bit more established. St. Woods, I'm not quite sure. I know they're from Montreal, so if you are from Montreal, you may know, but I discussed them in a video not too long ago, and it seemed like there were a couple individuals that were more aware of St. Woods. I was not aware of St. Woods until my homie Wckdthghts, or Kyron, put me on this rugby. Super sick. You have all these stitched in patches throughout. I am kind of beefing because I was trying to get their new flannel to show you guys, because I wore this flannel one on a story on Instagram. I've worn it in videos, and I get so many people asking me about it. It's just a red flannel. It is a little bit long. I wish they would make it a little bit more cropped for us short-statured individuals, but you have this super sick embroidery on the sleeve. The plaid on this is gorgeous. I think they just dropped a black one. I'm not sure if there are any in stock. I know I've discussed where I got this flannel from, but I want to include them. And then The last brand, actually not the last brand, sorry. Well, technically the last brand, and then I have one other thing to show you, Represent. Now this is kind of crazy because it's been a while since I've shown Represent. I've discussed certain things and I've shouted them out on my Instagram because I do think that they do a pretty good job of adapting with the times, and I gotta show them love because this hoodie fits absolutely amazing. I gotta give credit, man. These hoodies fit so nice. It's got a super nice fade, and seeing where they have come over the years is just mind-blowing. I mean, these guys were literally making all over galaxy print crew necks at one point, and they just continue to adapt with the times. They create cool stuff, and I just think they're one of those brands that I'm really impressed with. By the way, this little neck button right here, it's like brushed aluminum button. So freaking nice. I also got this right here. This is a collaboration between Represent and Wckdthghts. The Wckdthghts shirt that you guys may have seen, I actually wore with Louis Vuitton pants, which is kind of a weird combination. That was a vintage tee, and they just did a good job creating this t-shirt. I mean, you have these like little distressings around the neck. It's got a nice wash to it. It feels really good. I mean, I'm genuinely impressed with the quality of this tee. I would not mind having just some blanks like this. I also got this, but this fits a little bit big. I wish I would have sized down. The graphic is so hard. I'm not quite sure if this is a brand. I'm not quite sure what this is, to be honest. If you guys have any more information, let me know. But it's Dr. Collectors Hollywood Marquis I don't even know what that says. It is a brand that I saw on Bodega, and I just really like the wash of these pants. I also really liked this type of style, but with an elastic waist. It's lightweight and basically feels like I'm wearing sweatpants. For having the self-proclaimed largest pant collection on YouTube, I don't really wear that much variation on a regular day-to-day basis. I just wear sweats. Obviously, the first half of this video was dedicated to more established streetwear brands, and even the second half, I showed off St. Woods, I showed off Represent. I think those are a little bit bigger in the UK and Montreal, but I did show off some other more low-key streetwear brands that you may or may not have heard of. Like this Amulet Works hoodie, I'm telling you guys, this thing is freaking amazing. In fact, I'm actually gonna put this back on my body. I really enjoy doing these low-key streetwear brands. As a lot of you guys know, that's kind of how my channel originally started. When I first started this channel, my plan was to basically put people onto brands that they don't, or basically that they haven't heard of. Over time, I realized that no one ever clicks those videos because there's no one searching for those brands, so it never hits the YouTube algorithm and it never really is recommended to anyone new. So then I started doing the trips to the thrift, which I had a lot of fun with, and then I started doing Supreme. And then I realized I had all these new people coming to my YouTube because they were searching up Supreme. And the amount of times that I've had people hit me up that were like, oh, I saw your Supreme content and then you put me onto this brand, whether it be Wckdthghts, Born and Raised, Half Evil, Menace. I love seeing those comments because a lot of these brands are dope. And now I'm in communication with a lot of these people from these brands, and it just motivates me because when I first started this YouTube channel, my intention was not to get big on YouTube and have, you know, 100, 200, however many hundred thousands of followers. My plan was to get a couple hundred followers. If I'm lucky, 1,000 subscribers, start a streetwear brand, and just have a small community of people that I can talk about this thing that I like. And what's crazy is when I saw this t-shirt, right? So this is from Blazzy, or Nothing Personal. I became aware of this t-shirt through Steven, who is the owner of Menace. I was watching his live, he had Blazzy on, and then I went to Blazzy's page, I saw this shirt, and being that my family has a deep-rooted history with drug use, I myself am completely sober. I followed Blazzy, and then he hit me up and he was like, yo, you're the GOAT. I didn't even know he heard about me. So I basically, you know, said like, yo, thank you for rocking with me. Like, that's so cool. I was just appreciative, and he responded with, damn, thanks a lot, gang. Come on now, everybody grew up on you, which is so crazy to think about. I mean, Complex used to make fun of it. It was just kind of this weird, small, niche thing, and it just wasn't what it is today. And I've met people, like I met Sam from Half Evil. I've talked to Khalil from Wckdthghts, Steven from Menace. Even my favorite brand, Born and Raised, I got to meet Sponto and Two Tone. They're like the OGs to me. Like, I got a lot of respect for those dudes. So it's just cool to be at this point, and it's definitely motivating meeting all these people who are successfully doing what I want to do. If you know, you know. Wckdthghts coming soon. Anyways, thank you guys so much for rocking with me. I do appreciate it from the top and bottom of my heart. I'm not gonna get on some soapbox and keep talking. I don't wanna get too emotional. Hopefully you guys saw a new brand, something you guys like, something you guys rock with, whatever. Like I said, there is a thrift drop coming soon. So if you guys are not into streetwear and you guys are into vintage, or if you guys are into streetwear and you guys just wanna check out some cool vintage pieces, I got some cool Harley Davidson motorcycle tees coming to Thrift Row in the next couple days, probably like early next week. But yeah, like I said, thank you guys for rocking me. I do appreciate it from the top and bottom of my heart. As always, keep them the star life, and Peace.
Star Life Chris say shooting on Mexico. These thoughts been ran through. Goddamn it, like back Chief keep drop. I don't like that.
And my brother is that guy. You feel me? Jacob,
That guy.